I'm Jen Paul. I'm the founder and president of Digital Consultants, and Digital Consultants has committed to working with Christian schools marketing and for Christian schools to see how can we, in a faith-based message based on our biblical values instead of just messaging because we just want to attract people. So that's where digital consultants come in. We're going to talk a little bit more about digital consultants in a bit. So today's topic is about marketing playbook for the new school year coming up 2025 to 2023. Okay, so feel free to put emojis or questions and other. I love interactions in our webinars. So if any questions you have, please feel free to interact. Okay. Today's agenda, we're going to talk about what is marketing, and we'll just skim through quickly what marketing is. Most of you probably already know. What is a simple marketing strategy for schools that, if you don't have, you might be like, oh, Jen, I don't have a budget. I don't know how to even implement a marketing. What can I do bare minimum? And so we're going to talk about that. What does that look like? We want to talk about key marketing strategy for growth. If you're ready to grow, what kind of strategies do you want to come into play? Social medias and SEOs, what does that look like? What is a marketing playbook? Just in a high level, what does marketing playbook look like for 2025, 2026, if anything has changed? What are people's trust level? What are the social media channels people are trusting today to use beyond? So because your parents are on social media, you want to know which one they're working, which one is not working. So those are the things that we're going to talk about, and hopefully we'll wrap it up all by 12:30. And if you have questions, stay back, and we'll love to cover that for you. Okay. So digital consultants, how do we help ministries like Christian schools achieve their goal? Here, a quick rundown of what we do. We do various of things in marketing. One of the key items that we have outlined is website, SEO, digital ads. We do from word of mouth. How do we build word of mouth? Most of you guys would say, hey, the number one way people know about our school is through word of mouth. So how do we get that working more efficiently? Automated marketing is we have gone into that a lot right now too. I can get into that in a different session, but it's pretty much automating some repeated items. Content management, email campaigns, enrollments, and social media. And there's other things that we do like graphic designs and video editing and stuff like that. But this is in high level what we kind of specialize in. And we have a team of people behind me that works well with me on this. Okay. So that's digital consultants. Here's our quick snapshot of who our teams are. We do have another separate support team and a developer team when you don't have their faces, but in high level, the digital marketing team that you probably interact if you talk to a few of us, it will be this team. Okay. See if I can go back. All right, go back to that. Okay, let's go into our conversation, into our topics today. So, what is marketing? When I looked at marketing on dictionary.com, the marketing definition is that the action or business of promoting and selling products or service, including market research or advertising. That's why they call marketing. Now, efficient marketing is what we want to talk about today, is that efficient marketing should tell a clear and compelling story that centers on parents' needs and inspiration, helping them envision a successful outcome by choosing your school. You want parents to choose your school. So what does that mean? Clarity and compelling story is key things to make sure that your school is standing out. And how are we going to do that? A second, I'm trying to find my mouse. Go. Keeps going there. Let's see. Marketing cycle. This is something that you've probably seen before, but I want to go through in a high level what a marketing cycle is. This is very key to understand the journey. In today's world, marketing is not just when you see a bulletin board or you see some signs on the back of the car. We have advanced from that. There's a whole cycle of marketing that's happening. Did you know that people need to hear about your school, whatever you're trying to promote or talk about the value of benefit at least 10 to 12 times. So they need to see that brand in various different locations before they trust it. So this is where the cycle comes into play, and they will fall into different phases of the cycle based on how many times they have seen your brand. So the first one, in a busy market, efficiency becomes cornerstone of innovation. So you want to kind of initiate your brand. What are you about? So for example, if I tell you what Nike is about, you will know right away. But if I tell you a brand that you never heard of, I don't know, Stock Eye or A Squared, there are actually brands like that. You probably like, what is that? What does that even look like? Right? So you need to be able to understand where you are fall in the cycle of branding and what phases you're in. So initiation is the first one when you're introducing your brand. Second one is awareness. Ensure your school brand is easy to discover, accessible for parents, and amplifying your presence effectively. So, does the community around you know your school exists? What if we remove your school out of your community? Would there be any kind of impact, or will there be any drawn back because you are not there? This, so you need, if not, if nobody even noticed that you're there or not, that means your awareness is very weak. So we need to build up your awareness. The third one in the phase is engagement. We need to make sure that you engage the people around you, your community is engaging with you. One of the ways they can engage with you is through social media, email communication, interactive, making sure your website is interactive, there's call to actions and proper contents, and engaging content. So your contents that are out there that people are thinking about, they need to be able to see that, you know what, they can engage with your content. Personalization is very crucial right now. Did you know that personalization increases almost 30% of people building trust? When you personalize communications, people are able to see that, okay, you know what, they actually know me, and the trust and the credibility, it does increase. So you might wonder, Jen, how do I personalize? There's many ways to personalize things. We have a website, our website built. If you put a zip code or postal code, depending on where you are, we can actually personalize to say, hey, you know what? Looks like you're in the community. We can, we're right out on the corner. So people know that you are actually a school nearby, not far away. Because, when you look at the website, the dark, big website, you might think, okay, are you real or not? So personalization builds that trust. Efficiency is another important thing, to make sure that the repeat automated marketing is becoming a big item right now. So you should be able to automate nurturing emails when people put a, say, book a tour or want to be interested in your school or inquire about anything. You should have a nurturing email following up on a sequence. All right. To anybody who received our nurturing emails after this webinar, I apologize. We're just fixing up some of our routines and our repeated items. So you might got some of the timing wrong. So we apologize about that. But that's some of the things that we're talking about. Growth. So now you're at, you have set up your foundation correct. You have your messaging right. You are personalized. You are, ready to really work on your growth of your school. This is when you understand what your target audience are. You start in the beginning as well, but you start really specialized in who your target audience are. You're able to take away the fogs and unwanted, distracted audience out of your marketing strategy when you're in the growth stage of your phase. The last one is the conclusion, which is really comes back to your initiation again as you're going through in a cycle, but is the one is running campaigns, making sure if you have fundraising coming up, if you have any gala coming up, or anything, or enrollment or open houses, how are your campaigns running, and making sure your campaigns are running efficient. So those are very crucial as well. So this is just in generally marketing strategy, marketing cycle that's important. I'm just going to pause for a second. Do you guys have any questions? Did I miss any questions? I don't see any questions in the chat box. Looks like you guys are okay. So I'm going to keep going. So let me know if you have anything, just put it in the chat box. Next is, what does your marketing strategy look like? How many of you can say your marketing strategy looks like this? Or is it like, oh, you know what, guys, when I put my content out there, I'm nailing it. The right people are reading it and they're interacting with it. What does that look like? It's very crucial your marketing has a good strategy, because you don't want to just throw things out there and say, hopefully they get it. It's like, when you put a bulletin board up there, when you drive by a bulletin board, you have no clue who's reading it. You hope that somebody's reading it and is ready to interact with your school. So, but we're going to switch from that hope and throwing darts randomly to being really strategic on where we're going to throw our darts, where are we going to put our resources in. That's what effective marketing strategy is. Okay. Simple marketing strategy, this is what it looks like. Oh, to people you don't know, if you are wondering or taking notes and all of that, I will be able to send this after even a replay on this. So that's why I recorded it, and I can send you those slides as well. Just put it in the chat box. I'm interested. I can send you these ones as well. So you can kind of focus on this. Okay. Simple marketing strategy. Understand your school's mission. What is your objective? What are we trying to accomplish? Are we gospel oriented? Are we open enrollment? Are we closed enrollment? Are we, what does Christ-centered education even look like? So put a proper mission statement in place, and most of you already have that. And one of the ways, and I'll do another webinar on this, one of the key things is to make sure your staff members and everybody around you understands your mission and able to quote your mission. That's very crucial. And then define the goals based on school's roadmap. Where is your school going? And understand your goal. Then is all the time to put the strategy in place. Most of the time, people are throwing all kinds of strategy and processes or things in place. Oh, you know what? This social media is good. This social media is good. But you don't have a strategy. You don't really have a goal. Then you just kind of go on around in multiple places, and you don't want to do that. So what you want to really define good goals and what your school's roadmap based on that good goals, and then map your strategy based on that. And then when you have a strategy, then you put your executable steps in. What are the plans? What are you trying to do? Is this a 6-month plan? Is it a 5-year plan? What are you trying to accomplish to get to that plan? Then measure your performance based on results. This is very crucial. This is one last part that a lot of people don't do, is that if you're throwing these strategies out there and executing these plans, how would you know they're doing well? You need to be able to measure them, and that's very crucial. Okay, now I'm going to go into websites. So that's our strategy. Now we're going to go into what is going to make your website work. You know what? If you look at these 3 points, and even if you make this simple change in your website, I'm guaranteeing you this coming school year, your website, parents will stay on your website and actually even at least make a call or interact with you. Here's a famous quote from a marketer. He says, a good marketing makes a school look smart or a client look smart. Great marketing makes the parents feel smart. Your objective is not to make the school look so smart. Your objective is to make the parents feel like, hey, you know what? You're making the right decision. The smart decision is to work with your school. Okay. Parents don't enroll their children because the school looks nice. They enroll their children if they understand their value and the school's value are aligned. Most parents, especially in the faith base, is very crucial. You communicate your value, your mission, your vision, so that, and then the parents are able to jump on and say, hey, you know what? This school will get my kids to where I need them to get to. And if you confuse them on your messaging on your website, I guarantee you're going to lose them. Noise is the enemy and the solution is clarity. So you might be like, okay, Jen, what does that mean? I'm going to stop here and I'm going to give you some examples. Okay. It's very important when you are creating content, you should, you know what, sometimes we have pictures of you guys or teachers and administrators in front of us. So even if you can have your parents in front of you, it helps you to say, okay, this is the person I'm speaking to. Just a quick tips on creating content. Okay. That I find that always helps us, because sometimes we lose track of, oh, you know what, this needs to look nice and it needs to be, it needs to look this, look that. And instead of going and looking, we're losing the message. So it's very important that we message based on what our parents are looking for. I'm going to skim through this more a little bit faster. 3 key strategies that, if you can put these into place for just in a high level strategy, is that make sure your website has clear structure. And I'm talking about clear structures, the 3 things that I was talking about. Don't confuse them. Make your content clear, make it scannable. Okay. The third thing is your social media. Make it mission driven instead of just putting content out there that just, oh, you know what, announcements or talking to inner circles and the people who are outside cannot really understand. All of that try to avoid, and we'll go into that a little bit detail. And search engine optimization is very crucial as well, which we'll also talk about quickly. Okay. Social medias. Four things you want to think about for social media. You want to understand what your parents trust. What platforms are they on and what do they trust? And this is what the data came from 2024. We don't have 2025 data yet, but 2023, 2024 data is that LinkedIn is probably the most trusted platform right now. And then it comes Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook. I would say it kind of almost be the same. So these are the platforms right now parents are trusting from a data perspective. Okay. SEO is fading. I'll come to SEO, Paul, in a second, and then we can talk about what how does SEO can work with AI as well. Okay, that's a good question though. And then how to measure ROI. If you don't know what ROI is, return on investment on social media. So you're spending so much time and money on social media. How do you know it's working? You need to measure this on a monthly basis. We do that with our clients. We measure on a monthly basis. How are we doing? And then in a quarterly basis, how are we doing? So some of the measurement matrix you want to use is your engagement, your followers, impressions and views, clicks and traffics, and then obviously from that, how is it converted? So if you look at even your Google Analytics, you could know from your website how many people from your Facebook, your Instagram, or your LinkedIn or YouTube has come to your website. So you will know which channel is actually working for you in your favor. Okay, so here's I wouldn't I wanted to put a high because this is a question that comes up on a regular basis. So I just put a high level guidance on how to stay consistent. But take this with a grain of salt is that if you don't have the time to do 3 to 4 posts a week, even if you do one post a week, it does help. The consistency is what matters. Instead of, I have to post every day, I post every day, right? So make sure that you stay consistent to the strategy or the plan that you want to do. So, for example, if you have less than 1,000 followers, average engagement climbs from 3.5 to 1 post a day. When you post 20 posts per day, you're like, oh my goodness, where am I going to find 20 posts? I'm just giving you perspective on what does the logarithm in these items look like. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, various contents, like what can I post and what is working? Here's what most of the people post and that shows engagement and that gets people get excited about. Post about upcoming events. You have a gala coming up, track and field coming up, any pajama day or Bible verse memory day or grandparents day, community event, whatever is coming up, get the hype going so that people know, okay, you know what, these are things. This school is not just not about academy. They actually are well-rounded. They're teaching their students about just what does that look like. Character building is really happening based on your events that you have put in. Bible verses, highlights and stories is very crucial. And then this one is sometimes the most challenging one. Make it fun, especially on social media. People are not there to have serious conversations. Their guards are down. They want to be entertained. Try to do as much as you can to do fun posts. Okay. At the same time, show your value. What does your value has? What kind of value can you deliver? Okay. Sharing the school stories. We talk about that your higher experience. The when you put the higher experience, it impacts people more. Start reaching more people and achieve fundraising goals as well, especially with stories. We have find that when you put stories in, the impact is a lot higher. Okay. And when you put stories like, hey, you know what, did you see John who came into school in the beginning of September? In by May, this is what he's able to do. See, that show the transformation. People love that. People will share that story after story. And then even for fundraising goals, use that story and then talk to people who are ready or looking to give and say, hey, you know what? This is why you need to give because of the transformation that's happening in the schools. These are just ideas for various aspects of social media, okay? Make sure you personalize your content. This is so crucial. When you're putting your social media, you know you are a faith-based organization, you're a faith-based school, you don't need to message for who are outside of that. So make your contents based on that so that everywhere they see, when they scroll through your contents, they are blessed, they are encouraged, and most of all, they see value in what you're delivering. You can't believe how many Christian schools have gone through, not a one. So for example, you can put like a Bible verse and you can attach like a music to it. And so then just because of the music is so soothing and it connects with people, they will stay on that post longer. So we're going to go about video posting. Posting has taken to another level right now. So it's very crucial. I would say if you are doing social media, if you don't incorporate video posting, you actually are missing out on big reach and you're losing many audience because of that. Okay. So we're going to show you some trends on what kind of stats are happening with videos. More, okay, don't beat me for this. TikTok, people are faith believing, Bible going, Bible readers, church going parents are still on TikTok. Okay. And TikTok videos are taking so much more, showing so much growth than Facebook videos, right? Does that mean Facebook videos doesn't work? No, that's not what I'm saying. It still does work, but TikTok is lifting is definitely on on ahead of Facebook right now. Videos contribute to over 80% of internet traffic. And you probably think, why is that? Google's number one way people search, and Google and YouTube are connected. So because of that, videos are like, if you would search something on how to do emails or how to do social media, the videos actually come on the top, you will notice, and then the content of the just writing contents are at the bottom. Now I'm going to switch over to emails. Emails that have videos incorporated in it do 300% better click-through rates. Okay, click-through means people look at the website, email, and they actually click on it when they see a video. Videos that are 15 seconds perform better. You're like, Jen, what am I going to show in 15 seconds? I know it's hard. The whole point is if you can keep your videos short and sweet, people look at it a little bit faster. We did a video with a barbecue, end of year barbecue for a school with a bunch of kids, kindergarten kids running over a ditch, and then we literally transitioned to like a high school students who are going into high school, and literally wasn't more than 10-second video. And that video had a watch time of over 4 hours. And I was just like, how is that even possible? A less than 10-second video had a 4 hour watch time because people just liked it. So they kept watching it again and again. And that video ended up going really viral. Okay. So better video helps the audience better understand the value and the benefits that they're going to deliver. So that's very important as well. So when people are able to visualize, okay, what is your school about? They are able to even come into your school without actually walking into your school when they're seeing videos. And in generally, videos have a higher ROI than the static posts and the other ones. Okay. I'm not going to go through too much of it. Is that short videos. Sorry, I'm just going to try to go back there. And it's the volume down so that I can talk to you guys. You guys can hear me, right? 20 for 60 seconds video, vertical, change up the content, make sure there's a hook for the videos that people can see the fun or they can see their kids or something fun about their teachers. And then these short videos works really well for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Okay. Yes. Okay. Sorry about that extra noise. Google stats. Okay, so that's all on social media. Now I'm going to move over to the questions on SEO. How does SEO still work with AI coming into play? You know what? SEO is still in play. So websites on the first page. So when you Google on first page, the ones that come on the first page are 91% of the traffic. And most of the times, 91% of the time, people will click on it. Versus if you go to the second, there's when you search on something, there's actually a second page, third page, till 30 page or something. Only 4% of the people click on that. which is a hard truth. So what do you want to do? Everybody wants to come on that first page. So back to Paul's question on, is SEO still valid? It is very still valid. So because number one way people still search us is through Google. So when people are looking for us and saying, hey, when you're looking at for a restaurant, you're going to a restaurant, you say, hey, restaurant near me, or looking at a school near me, it's very important that your Google My Business is also well optimized. If you guys need if you need some tips on how to optimize your Google My Business, please set up a time with us. We are actually giving out for the summer a free time with us, 15, 20 minutes time, where we'll say, hey, look at your Google My Business, say, hey, why don't you do X, Y, Z? So we are actually offering that. So go on our website, schedule a discovery call, and we will love to optimize your Google My Business for you and tell you what are the things you need to do. Okay. Okay. What is SEO? Some of you might not even know what SEO is. Web SEO is when your website is ranking high or ranking on the top or doing really well from when Google searches it and puts and spits out results. Okay, keywords. SEO has keywords, and so maybe you might say Christian school, Christian academy. You might use your city. You might say, hey, Charlottetown Christian schools, and you actually go and build trust on Google, saying anybody's looking for Christian school on Charlottetown, we are it. And that's how you build trust. And then you keep optimizing your contents based on that so that people can come and Google will always know, okay, there's refresh contents going on. These are trusted guys. Remember, Google is paid based on how their search engine is working. So they are definitely constantly making sure search engine optimization is a key part in the website search, okay? And overall user experience is really well, okay? There's a concept called hyper SEO. This is partnered with your Google My Business. So for example, if you are in this area and your Google My Business is doing really well, it's optimized and you're constantly doing SEO, hyper SEO, or, in the local area, let's just say this is from here to here, it's about 5 miles, 5 miles, 5 miles. If you are number one, according to Google in this page, then what Google's new strategy is that, hey, you know what? You could also ask for number one here, 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 and here. But let's just say you are number three here and you want to ask for number one here. That's not going to work. So what they're trying to do is that the hyper SEO strategy is that, let's just say you're number one. Not when I'm saying, I hope you guys understand when I'm saying number one, you're on number one page of the search engine. So when you're searching for Google saying, North Carolina Christian school, you actually show up number one on the page, right? You show up on the page number one. Okay, you might not show up number one, you might show up third or fourth or fifth. It doesn't matter, but you're showing up on page one. That means you have leverage to go to Google as you keep optimizing, doing your SEO to say, hey, you know what? I want to be number one here, two here, two, because this person here, whoever is number one here, is not really optimizing. I'm constantly putting out content. So it's very important to look at that and see how your Google My Business is doing. And we can actually give you a free report on this if you want it. Let me know. Send me, again, schedule a discovery calls. Hey, Jen, I want to know my hyper SEO status for my school. And I can send that to you, or I can sit down and go through that with you as well. Okay. So again, you want to look at 5 miles north south. So eventually what you want to do is that you want to dominate your community area, becoming number one. So if anyone is searching from this location, this location, this location, you guys are on the number one, on your school's number one. Okay. So 2025, 2026 marketing playbook to set your school apart. So we talked about a lot of things. I'm just going to summarize. I know I went over 6 minutes. Apologize, guys, but it's key things that I want to summarize is that make sure your website is personalized, content is clear, and if people can engage. If people cannot take action on your website, they're leaving your website. It's not what you want to do. You want to keep them on your website. You want them to book a tour. You want them to download something. You want to give them some reason to be on your website. Automated marketing is very crucial as well. So make sure whatever you have on your website, when they fill out a form, make sure you trigger an automated email. Let them know you got that email. Somebody will get back to them within the next business day, 2 business days, whatever it is, looks like. Incorporate short videos in your social medias, even in your emails. It works amazingly. People love that. Parents love that. They can easily say that. And then remember that 10 to 12 touch point. When you're constantly delivering value about your school, you are building trust and credibility versus when they hear another school that they just hear the first time, you are ranked up high and the parents are going to be like, okay, what, let me go check them out. Social media, once you do all of that and have all of this clarity, I would put social media ads in at least during your open house season. Usually we do it from January to March. We do lots of social media ads because it does really work, because it starts, your parents starts engaging and you can get more engagement on that and more exposure. Okay, now you might say, hey, Jen, I do not have a marketing strategy. I need a marketing strategy. We got you. So look, you could just scan this with your phone, download this, and get your marketing strategy template, because this will help you kind of create what your marketing strategy. We actually created, put some questions in there. It's a Word document. You get it downloaded, and then you can start working on it so that you have something to work towards. Say, where am I going with my marketing for this school year? Okay. We have a lot of contents coming up in our social media, on our Instagram, on our Facebook, YouTube, even in LinkedIn. We're coming up with how to use AI. How does AI work with, what are the tools for schools you need to use for AI? We have created 20 marketing strategy that's easily you can incorporate. We're having so much of these tools coming up in the next couple of weeks. So connect us on our social media so you can have contents for that as well. You can download these information, and then you'll be able to really get your school in ahead of the game for this coming school year. So that's it from us right now. So I hope this was a blessing. If you have any questions or any concerns, let me know. If I missed anything or skimmed through anything, let me know. Did you find this useful? If you can put thumbs up or thumbs down. If you didn't, I don't mind. I would like to know the truth so that you know what, because we're spending a lot of time and effort in putting all of these content together based on what you guys need. Did you guys find this this information useful? Is this something that you can take away, implement for your school? Okay, awesome. Thanks, Anthony. Awesome. Thanks, Jessica. Okay. Okay, and if you don't find this useful, or if you find that, you know what, you're looking for certain other topics, please let me know. We have, as you saw, we have various of different talents in our team, so we can definitely look into that. We also have we also connected with worldwide through UK and a team in South Africa and Australia. So we can definitely get more contents for you to see what's happening outside as well and bring it back to you. Okay. We are creating another webinar in August that's going to talk about social media and how do you plan social media for a whole school year? What can you do prep ahead of time? If you can allocate a couple of days and say, okay, you know what, here's my structure for social media so that you can kind of start putting out contents easily. That's coming out as well in August. So stay tuned for that as well. Okay. Awesome. Thank you everyone for your time. I hope that this is a blessing. And if I've missed anything, schedule a time with myself or somebody on my team. We will cover that with you guys. We are here to see you guys get the gospel out to these young generation, so our next generation can see God in a more powerful way. And thank you guys for what you're doing. We're blessed for what you're doing, and you are in our prayers. God bless you.